Why hello there friends, it's Emma here, the Bookish Princess. As you'll know from my other videos and my reading vlogs, I absolutely love a good sunrise or sunset. I live in an old farmhouse surrounded by hills and fields, and I have beautiful views to both the east and west, so I try to savor as many sunrises and sunsets as I can. As spring turns to summer and the daylight hours grow longer, the sunrise, of course, moves earlier and earlier in the morning, and one thing that I have been trying to do this year has been to move my wake-up time with the sunrise, and as any sunrise watchers out there will know, just getting up at the time the weather app says the sun is appearing over the horizon is not really good enough. If you want to properly watch the sunrise, you need to get up about an hour before that to really see if there are any colors in the sky, if there's going to be mist rolling in. So this is going to be one of those good old 5 a.m. morning routine videos. This is what I have been trying to do as I time my wake up with the sunrise, including working some writing time into my morning schedule. This is not necessarily the morning routine that I achieve on a daily basis. This is the morning routine that I aspire to and strive for and occasionally manage to achieve. It's definitely easier when there is a beautiful sunrise in the sky to watch. When the trees were more bare, I could see the sunrise out my eastern window. But these days, I usually have to step outside. And I did step outside to film some of these sunrise sequences. But it really is such a magical time of day to be outside. The whole world just feels so quiet and fresh and new, but still at rest, just waiting for all the action to start and for the sun to come over the horizon. And then when the sun does appear, everything is covered in this honey gold, beautiful, perfect light. There was in fact a rooster calling in the midst of all that bird song. It is such a magical soundtrack to the morning. It seems like there's always something new and lovely to discover. One morning I watched the moon set as well as the sunrise, and another morning I just had to marvel at these impossibly perfect drops of dew. Misty morning sunrises have a beauty all their own, although it is a little bit harder to motivate yourself to get out of bed when it's rainy and gray out the window. I do try to make my bed first thing in the morning because that way I'm not tempted to crawl back under the covers. Then I head downstairs and have a glass of water. I do try to keep some lemon and lime wedges on hand. They just add such a nice thing to a glass of water, and they make me think of Disney Club Level because at the club levels they would often have little dishes of lemon and lime wedges. I keep mine in these cute jars. They were actually just wee yogurt jars, and you can get little lids for them online, so there's so much fun, and I keep that in my fridge. Anytime I want to drink, I pop one or two in. I try to make one of the very first things that I do when I start the day to pray. So I have a app on my phone called Magnificat, and they have morning prayers, evening prayers, mass readings. I love how they always have like a verse or two from an old hymn, and hymn lyrics are just such lovely prayers, and then they also have the Psalms. It's just a great way to center yourself and talk to God at the start of the day. After my morning prayers, I get dressed in some workout clothes and do my morning workout. You know how they always say that maybe you don't want to start doing a workout, but you'll feel great when it's done. For the longest time, I tried lots of different, YouTube workouts, and I hated everything just as much at the end as at the beginning. Then one day it occurred to me to look up Denise Austin. My mom would do these workouts every single morning. They were on TV every morning when I was growing up, and some of them were at Disney World. We got the biggest kick out of that. You can find a whole bunch of them for free on YouTube, so I started doing those. I did end up getting a subscription to her website because there's a library with hundreds of episodes of this old show, Daily Workout, and she's always in a beautiful location at a beach against the red rocks in God's country in Arizona at Disney World. I find it so refreshing to look and see a boat going by, or, look at the beautiful mountains behind her. I just love the backgrounds of her show, and I love her personality. The pace, I think, is really good. I feel challenged but not utterly exhausted. Each workout is about 20 minutes. It has a warm-up, an aerobic section, a toning section, and then a cool down. And yeah, I actually am willing to do it, and I don't absolutely hate it. I even look forward to it a little bit. Like I do it pretty much every weekday. So yes, if you are struggling with finding a workout routine that works, I would say maybe give Denise Austin a try. Maybe look for older workout videos and just keep trying different sources, and hopefully you'll find one that's the right fit for you. After the workout is finished, I reward myself by making the coffee. I admit breakfast was a meal that I used to skip a lot, but these days I try to make sure I have something to eat. Lots of people say it's really more important than you realize. I often have a little bit of yogurt and some granola. Sometimes I'll make myself an egg or even a sausage. I do have a stack of books on my table, so sometimes I'll read during breakfast or play a little Animal Crossing, but I have more things that I want to do, so I try to make sure I don't get caught up in my book or caught up in doing something in Animal Crossing. Once I'm finished with breakfast, I try to remember to have my daily vitamin right away. Both skincare tips that I've heard and just health tips from doctors seem to say, vitamins are really important, can help with a lot of things. So anyway, this is just a multivitamin I picked up at the store. I have that after breakfast, and then sometimes I will take a quick look at my plants. I have a lovely little flock of seedlings on my porch right now. I just picked up these elephant ears. 2 of them are actually for my mom, and I'm going to keep one. But they're so gorgeous. It looks like a painter painted the leaves. The colors are wonderful. Next up, I try to get my skincare routine out of the way. I was kind of impressed with this lighting. It feels like this could be a Beauty Within video. Beauty Within is one of the channels I really like for skincare tips. And actually, I think I bought some of these things on the shop on their website. I have a fairly simple morning skincare routine, just a cleanser, an exfoliator that's the AHA, PHA, BHA, which is really nice, and then some moisturizer. If I'm feeling fancy, I might use this Fig Boosting Essence. And then last but certainly not least, I put on some sunscreen. I actually keep that by the door so that I remember to reapply it when I'm going out gardening or just throughout the day. Now, if I woke up at 5 a.m., even after all of that, I still should have an hour or so to work on writing before I have to go off to my full-time job. My YouTube channel is just my hobby, not my real job, but it has absorbed a lot of my creative hobby energy over the years, and writing has kind of taken a back seat. I've always loved to write. I did start a new blog at the beginning of this year. It's bookishprincess.substack.com. I post about once a week, and it's great to have that space for writing, but I would love to work on more sustained projects. I'd like to be more disciplined about my writing. When I read my favorite authors writing about writing, discipline is such a big part of their success, just sitting down and getting it done. So I'm really hoping to kind of build a writing discipline into my morning schedule and just write for an hour. I have lots of different ideas, but I thought it might be nice to start with something simple and fun that I could finish and then have something complete. So I've been thinking it would be fun to write a book about Cymbeline, my kitten. She had a pretty fun story of how she showed up in the hollow right outside of my house, and it was definitely an adventure raising her. She is quite a character, and my idea would be to kind of tell the story from her perspective as much as I, a poor human, can put myself into the mindset of a cat. I'm thinking I would try to do some little drawings or paintings to go with it as well, so it would be sort of a children's book, but like the best children's books that I love, they're delightful to read at any age. So yes, I am telling you about this as motivation to get it done. This is my sort of unofficial announcement. I found Cymbeline in September, so my hope is to get this done by September. I do not have a publisher or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure I could get it out on the Kindle ebook store by myself. We'll have to see. Definitely stay tuned. Cymbeline herself has been living her best life. She just loves the outdoors. It's just her personality. As the weather has warmed up, she has been inheriting her kingdom. It's such a joy to watch her because she's just so happy, romping all over the backyard. My family lives quite close by, and my parents actually have a much better backyard for a cat. It's just a lot safer of an environment than my farmhouse yard. My mom likes to say it's like $1 million playground for a cat. My dad likes to say we aren't running a resort for cats, and my mom says, well, it is kind of like club level. She gets free meal services, housekeeping for her litter box, cozy, comfy places to stay. So yes, I still see Cymbeline all the time when I go over there, but just not necessarily every single morning. Obviously, I'm typing my book of Cymbeline, but I also sometimes like to write parts of it out, and that would not be possible if Cymbeline was in the house. Recently, I've been reading a book about Frances Hodgson Burnett, who wrote The Secret Garden. She had an excellent writing discipline, and one of her favorite places to write was out in the garden. I just got this brand new outdoor set for my garden, so I'm thinking maybe I will follow Frances's example and do some writing outside. It is such a wonderful time of year to be outside. The bugs and the heat have not arrived yet. I recently made the most wonderful discovery in my garden, in my yard. Last year was my first spring in the farmhouse, and there were just a couple wisteria right next to the door in the bushes. And I thought they were so pretty, and how funny that there were just a few of them. This year, there have been way more wisteria right next to the door. They look absolutely beautiful. And as I was admiring them, I was looking up the nearby trees. The upper branches of these tall trees are festooned in wisteria. It's so beautiful to look up at. So I feel like the ground floor of my garden doesn't have many flowers, but I look up and there's just, such a gorgeous canopy of wisteria. As 8 o'clock, 8:15 rolls around, it's time to start getting ready for work. So I head inside, head upstairs, and get dressed. You guys know how much I love dresses, and I wear my dresses all the time. Some days I take the time to do makeup, some days I don't. I'll have to link a recent makeup routine because I feel like not much has changed, although I am still really enjoying using this Revolution Beauty and the Beast palette that looks like a book. It just has so many pretty colors in it. Most days I have a salad for lunch, and usually I already have the leafy greens washed and ready to go, so I just pop in some toppings before taking it along with me to work, and I will take the rest of my coffee and maybe a banana or a clementine, so have some healthy snacks. One thing I should add to my sunrise morning routine is that I don't expect to go much earlier than 5 a.m. as the sun gets earlier and earlier. And even to maintain 5 a.m., I think I'm going to have to work on my nighttime routine, because if I'm waking up at 5, I really need to be in bed by 10. But I do think the morning is a great time to be up and about. It is such a great feeling to be there to welcome the sun when it arrives. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. I'll be doing my monthly reading vlog next Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye guys!